qualities and make public space attractive. So now I come back to how to do it. I need some water. And I will show a few of our projects that, and I will not so much, as I said, talk about the project itself, but about the way we try to involve people. The first example is a project we do for a small city in the Netherlands, south of Rotterdam, and they asked us to think about a transformation of a small of their city center. And we started with an analysis of their qualities and how we could develop it further. But we didn't advise them on a certain type of city center. We actually first proposed 3 types. And because it's very difficult to divide yourself in 3, we gave these 2 commissions to other architectural offices. So we had 3 offices designing 3 different types of, let's say, city center, and they were based on these typologies of the big square, the promenade, and the courts. We made models. We went really very far in detailing this kind of designs, and not because we think that this would be the end result, but because we think that it's important to show how it could look like and that people can understand how it will look like and can make a decision. And this work and these models we use in a very extensive participation process. You can see here, that's the mayor of this city. He was standing on the market to explain how the plans look like. And this is very important, that you have politicians working with you and thinking with you and debating with the public and then bringing it back to us. It's very important also not to only work in drawings and materials that are that we know as experts. You have to try. You also have to think how people that are not experts think about the environment and how they represent it, such as these children. And we use that kind of instruments a lot to know what people actually want in their city or in their community. For example, with pictures and talking a lot and sketching with people to know what people want, but also to learn because they are the local experts, to learn what is important and what are the opportunities in areas such as these. We did that, for example, for the renewal of our biggest beach town near Den Haag. And we use an area photograph because that's actually something that people can really understand very easily, and to draw on it while talking with them. Sometimes you use a drawing like this, which is really hard to comprehend for a lot of people. But if you add other kinds of drawing techniques, it becomes visible, it becomes understandable for people. So you have to also go and use these kind of techniques. To come back on the project I was discussing, as I said, we went really very far in detailing it, but the result of the project is this rather abstract framework, because that's also something where that's important. You have to, at least that's what we think is important, make a flexible plan. This plan needs at least 15 years to execute, and in those 15 years, ideas, but also the economy, as we quickly discovered, will change, and then you have to have a framework that can survive those changes. And after putting this framework, we start to do the feasibility study. I must say we actually do the feasibility study for the second or the third time, because we are calculating all the time. And came up with many models to research what would be feasible. Just to sum up the process of this the development strategy. In this case, the public and private parties work together. And what is important that we have an incremental process, that we design and calculate, and come back and let's say focus on our plans. Just a few other shortly examples of how we use these techniques, or what the kind of techniques we use. We were commissioned to think about the renovation of the food center in Amsterdam, which is a distribution center right in the middle of Amsterdam, actually. Quite big location. And part of the functions could move outside. I will not go into the plan, but here again we use the technique of scenarios, not to determine the plan firsthand, but to learn what people, stakeholders, the community think about it and what they want. In this case we had two axes. One was the positioning of this location in the city. Should it be more related to the neighborhood, or should it be more related to the city? And on the other axis, we made a difference between the small scale and the big scale. And that led to 4 different scenarios. Here is a representation of 2 of them. It could be a city distribution park to optimize the distribution of food in the city. But it could also be a local market where you focus on the idea of food for the neighborhood, small restaurants, etc. These kind of things. I will not go into it too much. Another instrument to use is this kind of endless plan or flexible planning. If you start from the existing situation, it could develop in many directions. And what we try to do is not make a definite plan. You have to be able to stay flexible. So this could develop here or here, and at any stage you could actually stop. So this is was a little bit about the way we come to a plan. But there's another aspect of the how question. And that's the question of how to deal with other parties, with the stakeholders, with the market, for example. This is an example of an urban extension, a big urban extension that we did in the Netherlands, a former military airstrip, and we made, together with the design office, this plan. And as you can see that in this development strategy, the public parties took most of the responsibility to formulate this plan. Or we actually, together with the public parties, defined the start documents and all the things that are important in this plan. We also did the sketch design. As you can see, it was also very, go back a little bit, rather well-detailed plan, and we made much more detailed plans. And we all did that before talking to any market party, before talking to any developer. Of course, we didn't give this plan to the developer and ask him to build this, because the developer, of course, has other ideas. So we made a regulatory plan, a zoning plan, you could say, and that would be the start for the development. And at that point, market parties would step in and take over. But there are other ways to do it. For example, this example we did somewhere near an area with a lot of glass houses. A rather unlikely maybe a place to develop housing, but we think it can offer very interesting new opportunities for the quality of living, but also for the way you can use energy and produce different kind of climates, which is in the Netherlands would be nice.